Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, a Fox 10 News alert. An attorney for Tyrone McAlpin has filed a notice of claim against the city intending to sue Phoenix police for $3.5 million. Back in August, you may remember, police tried to talk McAlpin and deal with him on an assault at a Circle K. McAlpin, who is deaf and disabled, was repeatedly punched by Phoenix police and stunned with tasers.
McAlpin spent 24 days in jail until the Maricopa County attorney reviewed the video and dropped all the charges against him. Lori Vallow, the so-called doomsday mom, appeared in court this morning after she was a no-show last week for a hearing.
And the convicted killer outlined her mental health history to a judge. Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum joins us with the latest now.
And John, Christina, as you know, we know Vallow wants to represent herself in this murder conspiracy trial. And the judge has said if she is deemed competent by 2 doctors, then Vallow can be pro se and represent herself when this is all done and when she's ready, and there would be no delay to what was once scheduled as a February 2025 trial. But in court today, the judge was hesitant about all that, denying her motion to withdraw a Rule 11 request. Lori Vallow back in court, surrounded by her team of public defenders, accused of conspiring in the fatal shooting of her 4th husband, Charles Vallow, in Chandler, and the attempted murder of her niece's ex-husband, Brandon Boudreaux, in Gilbert. 2 cases from 2019 that investigators say were motivated by Vallow's bizarre religious beliefs.
She has the sufficient mental capacity to understand the nature of the dispute, formulate a defense. We've now had a couple of conversations.
5 years later, court-appointed doctors are evaluating her to see if she's fit to stand trial.
To my understanding, there's been no history of irrational behavior. We now have a medical opinion from Dr. McGady who says that she's competent. There's been nothing else in her
Did that doctor meet with her?
He spoke with her briefly.
Since being placed in the Rule 11 competency process, one doctor has briefly spoke with Vallow and reviewed her records. A second doctor, Camille Hernandez, has not been able to meet with Vallow. Prosecutors say the defendant has not cooperated in the evaluation. Judge Boreski asked Vallow a series of questions about her triple murder case in Idaho, where she was deemed incompetent for a significant amount of time.
Were you ever previously determined to be incompetent at any point?
Not to my understanding. So my understanding was that the judge did the same thing that you did, in abundance of caution. Let's go ahead and put her in and see, and I came out competent.
Well, when you say you came out competent, was there a period of time where you were ruled as incompetent?
I would say technically they did do that. That's how they put you into the program in that state.
It took 10 months for Vallow to be restored to competency. She went to trial in 2023 and was convicted of killing her 2 children, JJ and Tylee, and conspiring in the murder of her husband, Chad Daybell's first wife, Tammy.
I did go through a process of several things, several classes, competency class, and meeting with doctors and evaluators, many evaluators.
Are you aware of any diagnosis that you were given?
Yes.
And what is that?
Her defense quickly cut her off and objected to that information being heard on the record, leading to a sidebar. Ultimately, Boreski decided to keep Vallow in the competency evaluation process, citing details from her previous lawyer.
In their motion, they cite that she's, in their opinion, suffering from some form of delusions.
Boreski says a new doctor will replace Dr. Hernandez after learning she had seen a TV program on Vallow. That second evaluation will be crucial. And Vallow has another Rule 11 competency hearing set for December 5th. If she is deemed competent by the second doctor, that will be crucial, and we could possibly see this February 2025 trial back on schedule. I'm Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum.
An update tonight to a story from over the weekend. Phoenix police say they've identified the teen involved in a stabbing death of another teen, but have not made an arrest at this time. Police say 15-year-old Jalen Reeves was stabbed and killed during a fight between 2 groups of teens. It happened around 3 o'clock Saturday morning near 38th Street and Chandler Boulevard in Ahwatukee. Reeves attended Mountain Point High School. Police say they interviewed multiple witnesses. They've gathered evidence, but still no arrests. Police are asking any witnesses to come forward.
In court today, one of the 7 suspects charged in the death of Preston Lord in the East Valley. Attorneys for 18-year-old William Hines asked the judge to reconsider whether there is probable cause behind his murder and kidnapping charges. After hearing from both sides, the judge denied the motion, ruling that he was given a fair grand jury presentation. Trial is set to begin in July. The first of its kind container housing village for low-income families in the city of Glendale.
The nonprofit group called Family Promise of Greater Phoenix used private donations, and they teamed up with a local church to come up with this idea. Fox 10's Ashley Rodriguez is live from the site on 60th Avenue tonight with more. Ashley.
So I'm standing inside the village right now. This is where 6 brand new shipping containers are going to be transformed into 2-bedroom apartments. And our photographer, Jamie Walker here, can show you a model home right now. This is where some of Glendale's poorest families can live temporarily inside these shipping containers while they save money to try to get permanent housing. And this is a concept that could really revolutionize the way we look at the affordable housing crisis. Construction workers are putting the final touches on the Family Promise Legacy Village, a temporary housing community for extremely low-income families. It's the first of its kind project that started 2 years ago and will be complete by the end of the year.
We're in the highest eviction zip code in the state of Arizona, 85301 in Glendale. We chose that zip code because we want to prove it's going to work there.
Family Promise operates 5 shelters, partnering with churches and synagogues. But this is their first, using 6 cost-effective shipping containers placed on the lot of First Christian Church. The containers, ordered from China, are transformed into fully furnished small apartments with laundry, a playground, and a staff office on site.
That the waiting list right now for families here in the Valley is over 360 families. 360 families. This is crazy. I have never seen a number this high.
The nonprofit CEO, Ted Taylor, tells me the goal is to help the working poor, families facing extreme poverty, whose wages barely cover rent, the majority being single mothers. Many of these families have never been in a homeless shelter, but were forced out onto the street after an unplanned hit to their paycheck. This lack of financial flexibility is partly what's behind the surging eviction numbers in Maricopa County, with more than 7,600 filed in October alone. 9 families can fit inside the village. They have to be employed and undergo financial literacy education, with staff members ensuring these families are saving the money needed to graduate into permanent, sustainable housing.
By teaching people how to manage cash in the future, we teach them how to manage life. That's how we keep these families out of trouble. They're constantly looking forward to make sure we solve problems before they get to now.
And once these families move to permanent housing, then the next family can move into the shipping container and the process continues. This process has been so successful at Family Promise's other shelters. In Bellevue, they've had an 86% success rate. Now, there might be some concern about shipping containers and low-income families moving into your neighborhood. Well, the culture here is very family-friendly. It's very safe. And that's why churches and synagogues are willing to partner with Family Promise and give them their land to use. Now, they have their sights set on Tempe for the next village with these shipping containers. And during the holiday season, if you're feeling charitable, they are always looking for donations. You can learn more. Just click on this story on fox10phoenix.com.